You're watching Let's Chat.
Today, of course, is Tuesday. Welcome to not just any Tuesday, but this is Election Day. And our current Chattanooga Mayor, Tim Kelly, joining us here for a few minutes. Mayor Kelly, good to see you as always. You hear us talking about this all the time, the importance of exercising your right and your responsibility to get out and vote. Why is that so important? And you've been a proponent of this even when you weren't running for office.
Well, local elections are really important. If you think about what constitutes quality of life in a place, particularly in Chattanooga, it really is all local stuff. Good roads, public safety, good parks, good schools, all that stuff is determined locally. And so you really need to get out and vote. And your vote counts a lot more in local elections. And we've got some interesting, really important stuff on the ballot today, including a referendum to allow police and fire to be able to broaden their hiring pool that we want everybody to vote yes for.
I think that's a great idea. It seems to me kind of insane that you can live in Memphis and work in Chattanooga. You can't live half a mile beyond the state line and get employed by the city, and especially in their first responder department where they need qualified good help desperately.
They definitely do. And again, if you live in Ringgold, you ought to be able to make the short drive, and or even on the back of Lookout Mountain, you ought to be able to work in Chattanooga. The county has that ability, the state has that ability. It's just kind of a weird wrinkle in the charter that needs to be ironed out, and we need the voters' approval to do it. So we encourage everybody to get out there and vote yes for that amendment.
How do you think the voter turnout's going to go this time around?
Well, it's been lower. It's been lower in early voting, but we hope people seeing this will get out there and vote. It's so easy. I mean, our election commission does such a great job. We've got so many convenient polling locations, and there's little to no wait to vote. I promise you'll feel better about yourself as a citizen if you'll go do it. So we hope we have a big day today. The weather's not going to move in until later. You can make sure and tell them all.
I'll guarantee you that. My wife and I went to vote week and a half ago, whenever it was, and in and out just like that.
There you go.
And this was during a time where usually there's a pretty high voter turnout at the polls scattered out around town. There's always an election official there to answer your questions. So again, exercise your right and your responsibility to get out and vote.
Absolutely. All
right, as you're trying to get into your second term of office here, give me a couple things that you're maybe most proud of from your first term.
I think we've spent $50 million on roads and potholes, and I know we've still got a lot of work to do, but we've spent as much in the last 4 years as the previous mayor spent in the entire 8 that he was in office. So we're making a lot of progress there. We made a lot of progress on affordable housing. We've made a lot of progress on public safety. Crime's down double digits, 20 some odd percent. So again, a lot of work to do post-COVID. It's been tough on all cities post-COVID, but we've got a lot of momentum and we're making a lot of progress.
I know you're in constant contact with the folks who head our public safety arenas. What are they most concerned about, do you think?
Well, homelessness continues to be a major issue, and that ultimately is an affordable housing issue. And again, we've got a lot of momentum there, but it continues to be such a big deal across the country that we're trying to get the attention of our state and our federal partners to really help with that. I mean, we've got a great co-response unit with the police department that goes out and answers calls when there's disorder, but that's a big issue. I mean,
all right, I want to talk to you a little bit about parking reform. And you and I were talking about this during the break. You guys have got some really unique ideas about getting free parking downtown.
So we're working really closely with our friends at CARTA. The Chattanooga Parking Authority is actually a CARTA function, which is not technically a city function. I appoint the board members, but I don't, control CARTA. But we've worked very closely with them over the last couple of years to devise a very comprehensive plan to make it easier and cheaper and more convenient for people to park downtown. The main thing for people to know is when you get your city sticker, when you renew your tag, you will get some free parking. We'll know your license plate number from that registration, and we can port that over to the Park Mobile app, and you will get some free parking. So stay tuned for that. We need people to come downtown and spend money, and we want it to be easy and convenient to come in and out.
I know your office catches a lot of grief because of the parking situation here, and of course, due to the nature of you doing what you do, you catch a lot of grief for some of the most strange things you should never have to address.
The job of the
talking about and I know we only got a few seconds left, talking about, like, for example, the roadway and the pothole situation. I know you get a whole lot of complaints about it. Do you ever get somebody who actually writes you a note or an email that says, "Hey, Mayor Kelly, thanks for fixing my stretch of road here"?
All the time.
Do you really?
Yeah, all
Good.
the time. Yeah,
Good.
all the time I do, and people walk up and say hello. I mean, again, I come from a retail background, and
Sure.
as I say, it used to be somebody would walk up and say, "Hey, my car's making a funny noise," and okay, we'll bring it in, we'll fix it, and it's no different. I mean, that's our job. The City of Chattanooga is a 2,600 person service delivery organization, and we're constantly striving to do better.
We appreciate your time as always. Come
Thank
back anytime. And again, as Chattanooga Mayor Tim Kelly just said, get out and vote.
Please.
Also, as he said, you don't have to worry about anything weather-wise getting in the way of your trip to the polls. HamiltonTN.gov, HamiltonTN.gov.